Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. It is now time to head into challenge mode for episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And we begin with Hoth Battle, and well, this level is definitely one of the longest when it comes to challenge mode, I find. Just because of the structure of the level. This is not really a level that's designed for you to go through quickly. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad if you just had to go through the regular level, but because this is challenge mode, it's technically fast free play, so you are still going to be spending a while going to and from these areas. You have the enemies that keep respawning. You got the probe droids, and of course you're not invincible here. So you've not only got the probe droids trying to grapple onto the bomb, you've got probe droids trying to attack you whilst grappling onto the bomb. So first I'm going to try to get in the one in here. I did just pass one that was hovering over the pit. Bit of a difficult one to get to. I recommend the Millennium Falcon for that one, but for this one, don't worry about anything. Just go in here. Try not to get shot by the ATSTs. Try to actually pick up the mini kit like so. And then head back out again. So now this one's rather awkwardly placed. I completely missed it then. So I think I tried with the Millennium Falcon. I might try it with this one first actually. Oh no, I did grab it with that one. Okay. I grabbed it with whatever vehicle that was. I didn't see what the name was. I never use any of these. I think I must have bought that one at some point because I don't recall playing as it in any level. Get out of the way! So just try and grab this thing up the level. Chuck it in here. If only there was something on the floor. Oh no. For some reason I was thinking there was an arrow on the floor. Whereabouts did I see that? Well, wherever it was. Yeah, so these guys can potentially be the bit that takes the longest when it comes to Hoth Battle. Trying to deal with the AT-ATs. Not so much these two, it's the one that's on the other side of that gate. That's the one that takes a while to deal with. At first, I try and see if I can just drag the bomb up the hill, past the AT-AT, and hope that I'm just fast enough to shoot it. It was either I lost the bomb or the AT-AT shot it, and so I had to then go back to recover to get another bomb and get past the AT-AT, which I made fall over this time. So now that that's done and over with, let's head into the gate, and once again, I don't go after the one that's right next to the gate. I still missed the name. Why does a rebel base have TIE Fighter gates on it? So there was one we very briefly just saw it then. I missed that one at first. So I then decided to go for it afterwards. So suddenly I was like, oh wait, there's one up there that I completely ignored. These freaking probe droids. And yet they don't use the grapple point in the final area. Which for a change is actually the shortest bit of the level, because we don't need to take everything out. And there's 2 mini kits in that final area, so make sure that you have 8 mini kits before you head into that final area. That's what I'm going to keep on. Oh, that's what happened. I got shot, and then the bomb hit the AT-AT. So this time I was like, right, I'm knocking you down, because for some reason we can blow you up when you're on the ground. Which is like 60,000 plot holes in Empire Strikes Back. That's what I want to know. How many times in this LP have I said that's so many plot holes? I mean, all I'm doing is I'm just mocking the once again, I keep saying it's not a fan base. Star Wars has a fan base, but the people that are always called Star Wars fans aren't part of that fan base. There's a real fan base and a phony fan base. That's all I'm doing. I'm just mocking them because they say The Last Jedi has hundreds of plot holes when it doesn't. It has about 3 or 4. That may be slightly more so than other Star Wars films, but that isn't hundreds of plot holes. Although given the intelligence of some of these fake fans, they probably don't know how to count. What? Who whispered that? It's good that he stays down for a very long time. I don't even know how they get back up again. I mean, we can see them get up, but I don't know how, in reality, in like the actual movie, how that would work. We never see them get up in the movie. But somehow they're able to get the front legs back into position. And there, that time I grabbed it. It's the other reason Hoth battle takes a while. You got to keep going backwards so you can blow up the walls. I mean, we had to do that in Gunship Cavalry as well, but Gunship Cavalry is also a much, much shorter level. Okay, now that's dealt with. Go over here. Luckily the ones over there don't respawn. They respawn by the entrance, but they don't respawn there. You almost ran into me. Watch where you're going. I mean, you steered out of the way, but still, that was a bit too close. Luckily the other snowspeeders can't hurt you. We have 8 canisters, which means we're good to go for the final area. All we have to do now is just look for the canisters. Don't worry about blowing everything up. I'd recommend you still shooting so they're not all going to blow you up, but still. Smoke's making it really hard to see where the mini-kit is. Still missed. There we go. Last one is around the other side. There it is. Did I go right for it? Yeah, there we go. 332.61 is what's left. And yeah, you only get these blue studs on the first try. When I went back to the old profile, my first profile, to practice for Return of the Jedi's canisters, and yeah, I was only I got the studs for the remaining time I had left, but I didn't get any studs for like the 50,000 for collecting all of the mini kits. You only get that the first time round. I would say that makes sense considering you could really grind for mini kits there, but at the same time, 50,000 studs really isn't a lot, especially when the extras are turned off. And you don't get studs in the main level anyway. Right, this time we are in Escape from Echo Base. Pretty simple level, since you can skip most of the enemy fights for a change. Still a few here and there. And yeah, this is primarily how I'm going to be playing the game from this point onwards. A ghost character, mostly Anakin, and Boba Fett. Just because I think it's the best combination. You know, of all of the bounty hunter characters, Boba Fett is easily the best one in the game. His gun does double damage, he has the jetpack, and unlike Jango Fett, he can actually fire his gun whilst running. It won't make him stand still. And then all of the other bounty hunters, they're just not as good. You know, Forlom can use the droid panels, which is good. That's all he's got. Even though he carries the same gun as Boba Fett, I don't think he does double damage. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does. I might be wrong, because I use him so rarely. And then, I'm not even sure how you pronounce the name. Denger? Looks a bit like Danger, but with an E. Him and Greedo are just Han Solo with thermal detonators. For some reason it wasn't letting me turn this thing around, and I don't know why. But I'm clearly against the green side. I'm on the right. And I'm on the left. Why does that change your position? Why not just stop you in that position? At least that stormtrooper knows to jump on it, but then you died anyway. Anakin, where are you going? Now the annoying thing about trying to, what I'm trying to do is I want to use Boba Fett just to throw the thermal detonators at the thing, but he keeps, because it's the same button, he keeps on trying to build the turret thing, which is annoying because when you're on that, that's what makes the stormtroopers appear. So I just head over to this one. And then there's one in the cave area that has those fishing stormtroopers. There isn't one on the one in the far corner. It's just over here. Let's go through here. Let them fish. Because the AI is really weird as to whether or not it wants to attack my partner character. And just make your way out. It's the only other. Those are the only two that are in this room. Once again, they're not going to do anything until I throw the thermal detonator. Now it becomes more difficult. Because you also can't detonate the thermal detonator if you die. Which means they're now going, I'm free to do this while they attack my partner character. I don't know how these things fall down. You don't even need to touch them. They just fall down when you get near them. Jabba's palace tries to make use of this by placing a blue mini kit right on top of one of those collapsing vent things, and I just walked right off the edge, and I nearly did it again. That's it, Boba. You can take it. So that's 3, and I didn't do. Wasn't the best idea there. I sort of left it on a zigzag, but luckily I do get both of them on the way down. I think it's impossible to get them all on one try. I don't think you can slide left and right fast enough. I've never been able to do it anyway. But then again, that is me. So it could very well be possible. Go through here. Even though it's not shiny, this needs a bounty hunter. It will, the thermal detonator will stick to it. And I don't understand this. You need to blow up that. You need to blow up that thing in order to get the door to open, even though it isn't against the door. Like, what's the connection? Why do I need to blow that up in order to open a door that's facing the object? It makes no sense. See, that's a plot hole. Well, it's not really a plot. Well, it's not affecting the plot in any way. But still. That's what you call bad design. It's the most minor bad design in existence, but still. Makes more sense than most of the Last Jedi's criticisms. Because that can't be summed up as it's in every film, unlike all the Last Jedi's criticisms. Breathing in space, almost every film. Villains killed with no backstory, almost every film. Luke being a mopey asshole. All 3 of the original trilogy. In different ways, but still, all 3 in the original trilogy. And it's funny, well, it's not funny, it used to be funny, how people just say, oh, Luke's characterization is awful, he's nothing but a whiny, mopey old man. Firstly, that other than the old part, that describes Luke perfectly in the original trilogy. And secondly, if you don't like Luke's characterization, don't act like Luke's characterization. You're angry that Luke has turned his back on everything just because of one bad event. And yet, here you are. You are turning your back on the franchise just because of one bad film. Sound familiar? And you throw temper tantrums are worse than Kylo Ren. No, I think it was Honest Trailers. Screen Junkie's Honest Trailers. They put it best. Syndrome in The Incredibles. He is a fan. He is a Star Wars fan and several other franchises they referenced. He's a nerd who, when something didn't live up to his expectations, he declared war on it. Because you know, that's what people are doing. Despite the fact that Star Wars is a series all about not letting your anger overtake you, all about controlling your anger and remaining calm, remaining at peace. It's is everything but what this so-called fan base does. And they say that The Last Jedi doesn't. The Last Jedi goes against everything Star Wars. No, you lot go against everything Star Wars. As well as this other thing that I like to call common sense. Unlike the real Star Wars fans, not all of them like The Last Jedi. No, there's always going to be those people, and that's fine. But you know what they do? They're real fans. You know how real fans react to something they don't like? They deal with it, they accept it, and they hope that the next one is better, and actually offer encouragement and advice. Not just, I'm going to boycott this franchise. I am angry that this company is killing Star Wars, and to showcase this, I am going to deliberately try to kill Star Wars. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yes, this is another of several videos in this playthrough that is pretty much just me ranting about how utterly despicable this phony fan base is, that just consists of people who really deserve to have Star Wars ruined for them. Yeah. That's what you are. Anyway, Falcon Flight. So every other version of this level so far I've just died in endlessly. Because I did this was the first level I did for free play mode, because this is where I could get the ×4 multiplier. And I died a lot in story mode as well. And this time it's not really that different, to be honest. It's a bit better, because I don't need to worry about... I can just rush through the level. There's only one canister in this section, so now I can go faster. So most of the mini-kits, they're pretty easy to miss, however, because in these vehicle levels, everything is a lot more zoomed out. The mini-kit canisters are often a lot smaller. And, you know, you're looking for a blue object floating in the middle of space. The main problem is that the asteroids are covered in blue objects. Like this, you can barely see that. What you really want to look for is you want to try and see if there's any grey patches around it. If there isn't, then that's most likely going to be your mini-kit. I didn't need to come in here either. Same with the that section in Escape from Echo Base. I got the 9th one. The last one was in that final room, but I went to the one opposite very briefly, thinking I only had 8, but I had 9. Yeah, most of these mini kits, they are just floating around in the middle of space, which makes sense, as most objects in space do. There's so much grey and blue in this level. Like the meteorites are grey, and they've got, some of them have blue. The ones that you can blow up to conveniently tell you that have a lot of blue around them. The TIE fighters are blue. The mini kits are blue. My character's logo in the corner is blue. The sound waves in Audacity that I can see on the computer screen are blue. Blue, 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 blue. The video bar is blue. There's a lot of blue. It's all blue. By me, I like blue. So yeah, this level is still, despite that, this level is very uninteresting to look at, because, you know, you're just going through an asteroid field. What more are you doing? It's a very straightforward, repetitive level. The best bit of this level is the opening. And you're not really doing anything other than blowing up some cannons. The main thing that makes this level go on a bit longer is that you still, I do like how these things are still floating around, is that you still have to blow up the asteroids, meteoroids, whatever the word is, in order to get the torpedoes. So you do have to backtrack quite a bit. Come on, grab the mini kit. Grab the mini, there we go. It's easier said than done, which it takes a lot longer when you constantly have TIE fighters shooting and destroying you. I forget what TIE fighter meant. I know it has a meaning, but I forget what it means. Don't know why I'm flying straight up here when I have to go back and blow up the other wall. The only canister here. There isn't one down inside of Meg. There isn't Yeah, that great big monster thing that's breathing in space, but, you know, Leia breathing in space is absolutely horrific. That moment killed the franchise right there, because she's breathing in the empty vacuum of space. Yeah, you know, that thing that characters have been doing ever since the first film. Anyone want to explain to me how they're breathing in the Death Star's hanging bay when there's a massive hole? How are they standing in it? How is there even gravity in it? Especially when they're first building the Death Star. Yeah, I think it's hollow. When they're first building it. How are they able to build it in the first place out in space? Still amazes me how amongst all the things that we see in Star Wars, Leia pulling herself back to the ship is where people draw the line. Never mind Anakin and Obi-Wan's battle on Mustafar, as awesome as it is, it's the most ridiculous thing in the entire franchise. And it's Leia breathing in space is where they cross the line. You just know people are still going to criticise Episode 9. Probably for the same thing as they did for The Last Jedi. They're just going to say, this film is crap. And they'll do exactly what they've done with Captain Marvel. They will try and just leave a load. They'll just review bomb it. That's what they will do. They did it for The Last Jedi. They did it for Black Panther. They did it for Captain Marvel. They'll do it again. Never trust online reviews. I never trust the critics, usually. But never ever trust online review sites that anybody can leave stuff on. Never ever believe it. Alright. So next up, second half of Empire Strikes Back. See you guys then.